right. Thanks everybody for your patience. We do appreciate it. For those of you who are going to be receiving this as a recording or were not able to attend, we do apologize for any inconvenience. Um, in the world of IT, sometimes even the slightly unexpected happens. So again, appreciate your patience and definitely look forward to presenting some material to you today. Um, as with a lot of the solutions that we look to for our clients, they come out of a need. Um, in this particular case, we're addressing a very unique need through Rocketseed. And the need that we were actually looking to address really was that, how to make email signatures easy to manage, uniform, able to go across all devices, and also a great way to market and become, where your email signature in itself becomes a profitable tool. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Jack Shanes. Jack Shanes is our representative from Rocketseed. He's going to talk to you a little bit about the organization and the product itself, and then we'll try to pepper in a little conversation as well. So again, thank you all very much for your patience and understanding, and I look forward to hearing from Jack here. So Jack, go ahead and take it away.
Hi, David. Thank you so much for the introduction. And I'd just like to take a moment to thank David, Nicole, and the rest of the PGH team. You've been a phenomenal partner and great to work with. Again, apologies for the late start. I feel like it's partially my fault here. So again, my apologies. But yeah, today I'd love to talk a little bit about our Surface Solutions. We are a partner vendor of PGH Networks. And what we do is email branding and compliance. And what does that mean? Let's see here. I'm trying to bring up a presentation and Teams is not letting me do it. Just bear with me one moment. There we go. So Rocketseed's been around for quite a few years here. We've been around since 2002. We are a global provider of email signature compliance and management. So we have offices all over the world. We have 2 offices in the United States. So Rocketseed USA addresses the US market, and we're very proud to have hometown heroes like PGH Networks and David and team to really work with us in bringing you an easy platform to actually manage your branding in the one tool you use every day. We've been around the block many, many times, so we have a very reliable technology stack. It's on the 7th iteration. All of our support is US based, all of our infrastructure is US based, and of course you have PGH to help with this as well. But we are a full service email branding and creative team. So one of the questions we get a lot is, why the heck would I need email signature management? And there's a lot of really great reasons, but I find that this slide kind of helps really drive the point home. And I'm just using a 100-person example. This could be 50 people. This could be 25. It makes the math easy. But 100-employee company each employee sends about 40 emails a day. That's 1.2 million emails sent annually. It grows exponentially every year or every month. And that is a lot of opportunities for you to actually either represent or misrepresent your brand in your email. Email is the one tool you use every day, multiple times a day, trumping your cell phone, phone calls, or any other communication platform. It is email. And kind of sprinkling in some branding and marketing speak here, because this is an opportunity for you to put across your brand in anything that's important for you to share. So you have 1.2 million opportunities to get your message in front of someone. For brand impressions annually, we know that 91% of all of your communications email, it's business email, and that's 1 million opportunities. And if you have banners or clickable assets within the signature, we know that just because it's coming from a real person, it's coming from you, that there's over a 19% engagement rate. So that's 200,000 opportunities to upsell, cross-sell, share news, share events, new products, new anything to your recipients, and really get them engaged, because it crushes that constant contact or that MailChimp bulk mail, because it again is coming from a real person. How we work is really simple. We sit at the server side. So what's going to happen is, from a technical aspect, and we're happy to go into this in depth with PGH and you on a separate call, would be, we install at like the Office 365 level. So that means that any device, anywhere, any user is logged into their email, so their phone, a PC, laptop, an Apple Watch. It does not matter where or who's receiving the email. Are they looking at it on a phone, PC, Mac, tablet, their Apple Watch? We're going to make sure that email is branded. We're iron fisted in our change control. This is all controlled by an admin. But really what happens is you create an email, you hit send, goes to Microsoft in this example, and then takes a hop over to Rocketseed. They get sent back to Microsoft, and then it goes out for final delivery. And we're making sure that that email is branded with the correct email signature, with the correct branding, phone numbers, contact information, personal pronouns, professional designations, unit, whatever you need to show, we can make sure it's there correctly. And it's branded and it's interactive and it's dynamic. So we're able to surface up a lot of reporting and, read receipts, open and click reports, reporting and analytics on if someone did click on a link, where were they taken? How long did they spend there? How often does this happen? Who is engaging with us through email? But at the end of the day, it's your brand. At the end of the day, this is you communicating to the world what's important to you. Be it, a centrally controlled signature allows you to really go through and have personalized disclaimers if that's important to your business units for healthcare, legal, financial services. Having a time and date stamped disclaimer is incredibly important. Then banners. We can put banners above or below the body of the email. So in this example, it's above the email message because we want someone to see it right off the bat. But normally we're going to put that right below an email signature in between the signature and the disclaimer. So it's in line. It's in line with your brand. But it's less intrusive. But we can track every link and make multiple calls to action happen within that email. So we're not just sharing, your title and your phone number. We're sharing a book me link. We're sharing a sign up to a newsletter, or social media, or anything that's really important for you to see, to feel, to touch, to get your customer to do something. Email's the perfect platform for it. So we're driving eyes towards your social media, your calendar and booking systems. We're making sure it looks good across all devices. We don't care what it looks like on your phone. What we care about is what it looks like on the recipient's phone. So is it mobile responsive? I'm pointing at the screen with my pen like you can see it. So is it mobile responsive? Do we want to do animations? How's it looking vertical versus portrait or horizontal versus portrait mode? These are the things we care about. And we can help you with internal comms and branding as well. So you can have external signatures and internal facing signatures. You can have external banner marketing and internal communications banner marketing. We can help you figure out what that looks like, how it would work for you, and how to take advantage of this tool.
Jack, if I can just interrupt this for a second too. So what I'm hearing you say is that, it's mindful and you guys are able to help with the design when it comes to even the difference appearance across a device. Right. So
Absolutely.
often you get something from someone's cell phone and it's just, things aren't lined up correctly. It's not formatted. You can tell that it's sort of designed a little bit more for like if it was a desktop. So you guys are able
Yes.
to cover that base. That's awesome. I think the other thing that I really love about what you're presenting here too is the ability to be able to have it go across devices. So as a user or as a business owner, it drives me crazy when I get an email from somebody that's on their phone, and all I get at the bottom was that it came from their phone. Now, if we're communicating, it's important. It's an opportunity we're working out. There's an issue, customer service related. To have that in that email as well is so critical because that way I'm not spending time, losing time, or wasting time going through different emails trying to find the right information just so I can do something as simple as reach back out.
Oh, absolutely. And you're spot on. Most of the time when you're doing like a copy and paste scenario, what's going to happen is people don't update a phone number. Here's a great example for one of our larger customers. The CEO of the company for 500 plus organization said, "Hey, I want everybody to use this one I designed." He was just tired of the scenario you were calling out, and it was for a healthcare company, by the way. Um, so he just sent it out to all his employees. He said, copy and paste this into your email signature block. Well, a lot of people did it, but a lot of people didn't change his personal cell phone number or his direct line. So they took him quite literally. So he was getting dozens of phone calls a day for things he had no idea about. That's kind of an extreme, but it happens often. So this is just a way to make sure that everybody has the right phone number, the right address, all those things, and have it controlled by one person.
Sure.
Quality control, making sure it's all done. Don't rely on that user. They have enough to do.
And the
It's
return on investment's right there too in terms of marketing. So you look at marketing dollars and how expensive marketing dollars can be. When you look about the ability to be able to market effectively through your email, there's a lot of return on investment that you could realize very quickly.
events, news, new products. New products is probably the biggest way to for like a sales org or uh, well any department to get through. Like for transportation and logistics, opening a new distribution center in a new geography, their customers and their distributors need to know that, and they need to be reminded, oh, we have distribution here, we have distribution here. It Me as a salesperson doesn't I don't have to remember that. It's just right there. And it's clickable, it's interactable, and it looks good. So it's very powerful.
Thank you. I won't try not to interrupt too much, but I just wanted
Oh,
to
no
interject there.
problem. Interrupt as much as you like, sir. Interrupt as much as you like. Um, But kind of, David, going off of what you said there, each team can have their own different types of signatures. So biz dev could have one format, or a business unit within, a multi-business unit organization can have one format. HR or operations can have another. Marketing can have another. So you can make sure that each team has the own look and feel of the branding that really does adhere to what they need, what's important to their operations, what's important to their goals. And then the banners are the same way. We can make sure that we're uh, pushing through something to a colleague, should say colleague, my apologies for that. Or we can make sure that we know who you're sending emails to, so we can say, an internal email is going to get one piece of branding, the external, maybe a customer, and maybe a vendor or partner. We're sending the same email, but if we can apply rules to each one so they get the branding or the signature or the banner marketing that was required for them. So we can actually fine tune this quite a bit to down to the recipient or the domain and what we're sending to them. Um, I have taken the opportunity to send David a quick email, actually, and I'm going to actually show what I had sent. So I'm going to jump over here, and I'm just going to share something very quickly. When we talk about change control, any device anywhere, you don't have to download or apply anything to a cell phone or manage a new endpoint or a tablet. It's wherever you're logged in. So we also don't give the opportunity for anybody to get creative. So your employees, it's going to be just like sending an email from a phone. They're not going to see the branding. They're not going to have an opportunity to change it, touch it, get creative, do anything. But I had sent an email to David, and I'm just hit send here. Oh, has changed. So Teams does not like what I did there. Go here, change that out. Do the stop share here so I can do that. There we go. There we go. And David, do you have the email that I sent you earlier? There we go. So in this
Yep.
case, David actually has the external email, do not click. We don't interfere with that. So all of those business rules, all those security guidelines that you have, we can adhere to. So HIPAA, spam, CAN spam, Castle, European guidelines, we can adhere to those guidelines and make sure that you're taken care of from a security and compliance standpoint with your email. But in this case, what David's showing is I have a banner, just a couple of little test things here, my contact information, and a disclaimer. So it came through perfectly. Thank you, David.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Let's see here. Now, from a management standpoint, do you think it'd be worthwhile, David, to jump into the GUI? You think people would like to see that, or we'd like to talk a little bit more about?
Sure. I mean, I think, yeah, if we can give them a little bit of a sense of it, that would be great. I know, we have some one-on-ones that we're going to be scheduling, but yeah, if we can give them a little bit of a sense, why not?
Fantastic. So this is web-based. So David and Nicole and team have seen this many times, but this is what an admin would be greeted with. Everything's role-based, so you can have a marketing, either internal or external marketing team member. Maybe you're outsourcing your marketing to someone else, or you have it internally. PGH in this case would have full access to the backend, so they can connect your 365 transport rules, push updates, things like that. You'll also have that access for any of your IT people, but really who's going to be working on this is your marketing admins. And if IT is managing that, we can help make it faster. But when you log in, what you can see is just a basic health check. How many emails were sent in the last 7 days in this case, how many were branded versus unbranded. And there's different scenarios we'd walk you through why something would be unbranded. Active senders, things that are created automatically through like an Active Directory sync. If you're using our banners, what banners are you using today? How many emails were sent with it? How many unique recipients, internal versus external clicks, and then a quick engagement rate based on how many clicks are you getting for that marketing asset. Your top senders, I'm right here, so I'm a little bit middle in the pack. But you're also your top receiver domains, and this makes it interesting because most of your emails are actually internal. So we're used a lot for internal communications for teams that have like a home office and then a lot of remote workers like in the last year and a half. This has been instrumental for HR sending out benefits open enrollment towards the end of the year all the way through to return to work for COVID. So we're used a lot for those types of activities for internal comms, but it could also be from your IT team saying, hey, here's your approved portal for submitting a IT ticket or sales, hey, bookings. So we can use our tools for a lot of different things. But once we're connected, honestly, we break things out to the very simple. We're going to connect to your AD, or we're going to import your user information here, and we break things up between senders and receivers. And senders, we can make this so it's really easy to navigate through. So if you do have multiple teams in multiple geographies, you can just find it, go there, and see who the heck these guys are on this team, and then go ahead and click here what messaging is actually assigned to them. If it's hyperlinked, it'll take you to the page for that signature, that disclaimer. Or in this case, for me, over here in the banners, I have a banner, a marketing banner for every one of my emails going out. So I have 10 banners assigned, so every banner gets a new email and then it starts back at 0 again. We can make that type of dynamic marketing much easier to do. So it is really powerful. It is really easy to manage. It's easy to navigate through. We also take the similar approach for like your signatures, your banners, your disclaimers. You can have a whole library of different signatures that do different things for you. Some of them might be like this, where my signature, but it has a survey in it. If you want to get the temperature of your customers, put it in a banner or put it in your email. This is just an image where we're mapping links to the back of it. We make it super fast. It's really easy to check dark mode. It's really easy to test it real time, customize the appearance so it aligns to your branding guidelines or what you need it to look like. But on the really fun part of this, you can make these changes in as little as 90 seconds. So you have a signature, we've helped you design it, or you've designed it yourself, because services for creative unlimited training, either through PGH or directly with us. We're partners in this, so we're going to make sure any admins you have, any questions you have, we're going to be answering those questions. But we'll just make sure that you have everything you need to apply a great signature that properly represents your brand, and then you can send it out. And then, you know, not worry about copying, pasting, not worried about chasing the people that actually, well, they may not have followed. They might have a 6-year-old logo for some reason in their email. That's recently come up, the wrong disclaimers. Instead of spending, a few hours doing design and then days or weeks chasing people to fix it and implement it, you can have it designed, an hour, and then within 90 seconds, update every single user you want to the new design. No action by the user whatsoever. So you get to control this remotely and quickly. And that's really why people come to us. We make it easy.
Jack, couple comments on this, and then also a question that
Mhm.
that popped up in our Q&A. So speaking of questions, by the way, I've never ever been somebody that's had a 6-year-old signature, maybe 3, possibly 2. I don't think I popped into 6, but yeah, it kind of, when you're in your day to day, right? It really, sometimes things like signatures, I know they are important, but they get lost in the sauce of the day. I think one of the things that I really love about this is the metrics. When you look at the efficacy of what you're doing as a business, being able to measure it through the metrics that you're showing here, and not only see like, who's clicking on what, but you can really test the power of your messaging, right? Because we always like, we look at the messaging that we send out is it effective, or is there a sender receiver disconnect? And you can use these to sort of see how that sender receiver is the way you're presenting this information. Is it helpful? Is it reaching the target audience? Is it doing what it's intended to do? Or am I missing the mark? And through that, pivot and adjust and try different things as an organization to try to help raise the bar on that. Um, when it comes to a lot of our organizations, they do, utilize different CRMs.
Mhm.
Does this tie into Salesforce? Was one
Oh,
question we do
absolutely.
have. Okay.
Majority of my sales teams send emails through Salesforce. We're actually able to
Mhm.
brand through an SMTP gateway. It's actually really fast for us. We can brand all outgoing mail generated from Salesforce with the same
Mhm.
signature that's coming from your 365 account. And you can manage that through the same portal. So you can think of that as just another email environment or just, another client, but we make sure there's brand consistency between multiple platforms. So it's not just Outlook or 365, it's 365 and Salesforce. And all the reporting comes back the same way. So, and you can apply the changes and the updates in the same manner.
Awesome, awesome. And then another question that came through. Um, So, like, do we have, a library of pre-designed templates that they can choose from? So maybe like something to kind of get the ball rolling, and some recommended templates, or, anything in that area.
Sure. So you can have a whole library of templates. Um, let's see here. Am I unmuted? There we go. Uh, you can have a whole library of templates. We can help you with design, best practices, all that stuff. But just to get started yourself, you just got a new signature. And these are the most popular designs that we see in the market today. And we're constantly adding new templates to this library. And it's pretty easy to just choose one that kind of is close to what you want. And then just start customizing the appearance of it. Now, this is a template for anybody who has HTML experience or you want us to help you with it. We can even expose this part, and this is the HTML, or we can start changing a whole lot of different things about this. So order, adding different line breaks. Maybe we want to have an optional logo, but we also want to have a photo. Over to the left here, we can show you how to put in a span tag for that, or you just tell us what you want, and we'll just do it for you. So we can make that
Awesome.
a pretty easy process.
No, that's great. That's really fantastic.
And
Thank
as
you.
you can see, we have a ton of signatures ourselves. I mean, this is what we do, but you can have all sorts of signatures and just have a good naming convention.
So, if in terms of that too, just to add, kind of piggyback on the Salesforce question,
Hmm.
um, can it speak back to Salesforce? Like, so if somebody clicks on a
Yep.
particular link, okay, great. So our area, they can later pull a Salesforce report.
Oh, reporting from multiple places. So
Awesome.
we can like when someone clicks on a tracked link within a Rocketseed banner or email signature, two things will happen. You can find reporting about it in the console, but we can also send a click report back to the account, that email address the email belongs to for that recipient, as an activity. So it'll push it all the way through, and it shows up in the account that that email address belongs to as an activity, and it'll show up for your different reporting for internal. But me as a salesperson, or my team as salespeople, are going in there and looking and say, oh no, they're interested in this new product. I'm going to go through and go ahead and send them some more information about it, and then follow up real time. The other thing that we can do is brand like dynamic CRM in the same manner. Zoho. There's a couple others, Reply.io, Outreach.io. And if we don't have a native integration with them, what we can do is use Zapier, or look at what would that look like as an SMTP hop, or an API call. So we can definitely do that and explore that if we don't already do it with you or with that client. The other thing we can do, though, is surface up reports real time for these links for surveys. So maybe we want to find out, what do our customers think about us? We can, in the Salesforce example, what we can do is go ahead and push through that click report that, hey, this person clicked, I had a bad experience or a good experience, into Salesforce, so it's logged there. But we can surface up a report like something from here that will show you how many of those satisfied or dissatisfied clicks or links happened. And then we can report on just about anything you can think of. Links, anything in the signature, anything in the banner, who you're talking to. This is just a long report I'm scrolling through for dramatic effect until I get to some really good information, like your sender summaries, your top branding opportunities, your top senders, who's sending the most emails, unique. So similar to the homepage, but what is their engagement? We can surface that up for the domains as well. So we can give you a lot of really in-depth reporting on that.
Awesome. No, that's great stuff as well. Cool. That's really do appreciate it. Great information. I'll again try to hold some of my questions back, but it's exciting stuff. So feel free.
Perfect. And these are great questions. Keep them coming. Let me go over here, and I'm going to go back to that slide deck if everybody's okay with that. So at the end of the day, we can surface up a lot of different reporting, but we can also add Google UTM codes to like the links from a marketing standpoint, and have this a lot of this reporting and those clicks show up in your Google Analytics. You're already paying a lot for AdWords. You're already paying a lot for paid search. You're using all these different tools. We can add to that so you have a better last mile understanding of, like, what is my marketing doing? A/B testing, how's it working? Or is anybody even looking at this and clicking through? We have a couple different ways we can surface up that information. Google Analytics is a very popular way to do it because everybody uses it. But at the end of the day, we're going to make sure that you have a great looking email signature. If you're using banners, how does that align to your brand? How does it make the whole thing look good? If you're going through a rebrand, how do we help you do that? Making sure that your branding for your website and your email signatures match. But we can also get you to have people engage with you. So this is a fairly recent campaign. We just pulled one from. But in this case, it's a signature that has a couple calls to action in the signature. You'd be surprised how many people do not have their website or a sign up for newsletter in their email. This is a great example of just what happens. Just from regular email sends out of 6 months, they had 7,000 additional clicks. This is not a large team. This is maybe 20 people. 7,000 additional clicks on their website, and they had a 19% engagement rate on their sign up for newsletters. This is just from a signature where they're able to capture a lot of people's informations, put them on different newsletters and interest groups so they can reach out a little bit more and fine tune their messaging and actually just call them. And a lot of surveys this year. I mean, a lot of surveys this year. A lot of people are trying to figure out how to keep their customer. And that one-to-one email is a great way to do it. Put a banner at the top of the email, and this is a great example for like hospitality and leisure. This particular company sends out emails to everybody after they've returned from their vacation or their travel. And in some of the geographies we serve, people still traveled. In this case, it was a survey. How did we do? How was your stay with one of our properties? And if someone clicked on very good or excellent, it led them back to the bookings page. If you liked your last trip with us, book your next one. Average and poor triggered a click report, like I was talking about early, directly to the client success manager or the salesperson that sent it, and let them know, hey, this person had a poor average experience. They were immediately then calling that customer saying, hey, it sounds like you had a terrible or not a great time. What can we do to make it right? So real-time customer care. And it really did make the customer feel like they were loved. Out of this, they had a 64% engagement rate, which we had a lot to do with because they would have never had that type of engagement. But 90% of the guests rated it, excellent, which is something they wouldn't have known without our banner, but they were doing a great job anyway. So we're coming towards the end. I feel like I rested a little bit here, but I'm happy to go in depth on anything, any questions that anybody might have. Schedule some time with me and David and the PGH team, and we're happy to go through everything. But I'll just close out with the 7 reasons why customers need Rocketseed, which is uniting their branding, making it easier for your admins to actually administer that branding. You've worked hard a long time to make sure your branding is consistent and you have a good reputation. It only takes a couple bad emails and a couple bad actors to make it less than desirable. Email is a complex environment. We do make it simple. We can make sure that any device or application can read that email or surface it up best practices so it's easier to manage those. Precision targeting. We can get down to like the individual for targeting for different campaigns. Promotional continuity is probably the biggest one. It should probably be at top. Make sure everybody's seeing your messaging across all of your platforms, but we're super cost effective and we just make sure the word gets out about your team, your groups, your priorities, both to the outside world and the inside world. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up and see if there's any questions.
Awesome. So, once again, I want to thank you. I do have a couple quick questions, and if you do have any other questions, please feel to throw them in the chat. First off, again, I want to thank everybody for the patience, with this and working through some of those blips in the beginning. But I hope you found the information very useful. I know I certainly did as well. So a couple different things. I guess one of the things that we really talk to a lot of our clients about is security and making sure that email security, Office 365. It's and for very good reasons, a hot topic right now. That said, sometimes you put a tool in place and then you end up losing emails because you're trying to have the proper security, right? So it's a double-edged sword. So when it comes to like a third-party email, that sort of thing, is that something that is going to cause it to go into spam because you've now applied this third-party signature to it? Are you able to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So from a security standpoint, like the infrastructure we sit in the cloud, we're SOC 2 compliant there. We adhere to HIPAA guidelines, federal guidelines. We do have a lot of state and federal government customers for the United States and Canada. But we're able to just deploy with 365 specifically. It makes it really easy. Since we're delivering back, So the email goes from user to 365 to Rocketseed for branding, and then back to 365. It's really easy to make sure that all the links are good, CNAME, DNS records, all those things are in check because it's being delivered from Microsoft Office 365. We already passed all those checks and balances for them. And then for spam specifically, we're not doing anything to contribute to that. We're keeping it lightweight, making sure, again, like DNS, CNAME, SPF records are correct, and that's pretty easy for us to do with you, especially with your team. That's where you're probably going to have most of your problems. You have a bad SPF record, or there's a lot of content that is spammy in the body of the email. So we're not going to contribute to that at all. And we'll make sure that the mail path is clean, so that doesn't contribute to it either. Our SLA is all about, how many seconds does it take to actually brand and deliver that email back to 365, not, can spam or, what the weight of that email is on those different scores. We don't affect that really. Yeah, it's pretty simple for us to do.
No, that's really, really great. I appreciate that. Last quick question that I have, because I know we're coming up to the top of the hour here, and I do want to respect everybody's time and appreciate attendance. So you guys are it's a not a small organization. You're a big organization. Now here's one question I have though: is that what happens if it goes down? Like even for the biggest of organizations?
Oh no, yeah, that's a big question. That's a great question.
What happens if it goes down?
So there's a couple different scenarios there. For the Rocketseed Cloud, we have automated failover in a geo-separate data center. So to an end user, there's no interruption, and we include our partners and our customers if they want it, reporting from our reporting systems. So what would happen is for either planned or unplanned maintenance or downtime on the primary cloud environment, we'd automatically fail over or cut over to the backup environment or the hot swap or HA environment. And in the event of a catastrophic, let's say a meteor hits, both data centers in both parts of the country, well, we have a lot more problems than email signatures. But from your point of view, we are a transport rule at the end of the day. Uncheck one box, mail continues to flow as normal. So we are super low impact in that regard. If we are deploying within a client's data center, not as common nowadays. Everybody wants to not manage the cloud, so they're offloading it to PGH and to us. But we can deploy in an end client's data center and then help them provision and set up the same type of failover. So downtime, it does happen. Any SaaS provider that says it happens, it doesn't. It's never happened to them is not being truthful. But in the last 3 years, I think we've had 2 instances that created an outage for our cloud. One was completely out of our control because it was the vendor or the cloud environment knock, and then the other was a storm. And we just didn't deal with it well. That was 2 years ago, and that has changed for that particular data center.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate you answering those questions. I'm sure some of our clients are going to have other questions. So with that, I think if it's okay, I'll segue into the what to do next. So next steps for everyone. So I'm for some of you that are watching this or that are participating with it. I'm your account manager. You definitely know where to find me. So let me know if I can connect you with Jack for a one-on-one, and then we can look at the next steps and pursue Rocketseed and make sure it's a good fit for you. I'm sure it will be. Some of you may actually work with Derek, who is our other account manager and sales director. Just go directly to him. He'll be happy to make the same arrangements with Jack. Either one of us, between the two of us, will make sure that you are taken care of. We'll get your questions answered and look to the next steps on how you can get Rocketseed implemented into your emails and get all the benefits from marketing to uniform emails to not having to chase down updates on signatures. So no more herding cats there. So I just want to thank Jack sincerely for your time, and again, for those that have joined us. I hope everyone has a great day, and thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. PGH has been a great partner, and we're excited to help more of your customers.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We look forward to it. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.